What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be going over all the current champions and a few other guys I sprinkled in to see who could be the next double champion in the UFC. Now, we have 4 different categories today. First off, we have no chance. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Next up, would need a different champion. This one I'll go a little more in depth with. There are some guys that I think could maybe get it done if there was a different champion. Next up, give it a shot. Go out there, and I think it's at least worth their time to try to do it. Very different than no chance and would need a different champion, in my opinion. This one, they could still lose, I'm saying, if that makes sense, but it would be worth their time. It's not like they would just go up and get absolutely destroyed. And then very likely category where I think if they decided to go out there within the next few fights and try to win a championship at the next division up, I think they could easily get it done. Maybe not guarantee that they're going to win, but I think they could go out there and get it done. First up, we have DDP. Now, this is an interesting one. Do I think DDP can go all the way up to 205? He's a big guy. I think it would have to be a different champion, in my opinion, though. He's not beating Alex Pereira at 205. If he could get up there, which it would be tough, obviously. At 185, he's a big guy walking around, though. So I think he could potentially, if he wanted to go do that in the future. He was talking about fighting Alex. I feel like if they did, which I don't think it's going to happen, it would be at 185. But I think it would have to be a different champion. Like if somehow Khalil Roundtree went out there, this is a massive hypothetical, obviously, but like if Khalil Roundtree went out there and beat Alex Pereira somehow and got lucky, or someone else was the champion, I think Dricus could maybe go out there and try for it. I'm just saying there's definitely not no chance because he has such a weird style that he just goes out there and gets it done. He goes into the octagon and he just says, you know what, my plan is to win. Like that's the only way to describe the way that DDP fights. He goes into the octagon and says, I'm gonna win, and then figures it out when he's in there. And you know what? Credit to him because it hasn't gone wrong yet. Undefeated so far. Next up, I have Alexa Grasso on here. This one is pretty easy for me. I don't think she has a chance. I don't have an official prediction for her versus Shevchenko next, but I think that I just don't see her going up and winning. Like at bantamweight, I expect Kayla Harrison to become the next champion. I think that's pretty easy. We'll put Pennington here too. I don't think she has a chance to become a double champion either. But there's like, if Kayla Harrison is champion, I don't think Alexa Grasso beats her. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I don't know. I'll get all the women's fighters out of the way now that I'm talking about them. The only one that I think should give it a shot would be Zhang Weili. I've seen a bunch of different things. Some people say that she could easily get it done. I wouldn't say easily. Her against the winner of Grasso versus Shevchenko. I mean, obviously you're still going up in weight, so I would say she should give it a shot. I'm not going to guarantee her a victory. She is very dominant, but I think we forget how good Valentina Shevchenko is just because of these last fights. Obviously, she lost to Alexa Grasso, but I mean, she is still a fantastic fighter. I think it would be a great fight if she goes out there and beats Grasso, wins the title back. I think it would be an interesting fight. Yeah, she's a little bit older, so at 36, so that's why I think Weili could go out there and give it a shot right now. And might as well go out there and get it done. Even if Grasso wins, I think Weili could go out there and just at least give it a shot. I'm not going to say very likely because I'm still not 100% confident that she could do it, but I think she should give it a shot. Jon Jones. Now, this is an interesting chance to go in and we can either glaze Jon Jones or bring in the hate train. This is where the MMA world is obviously split right now. You want me to tell you how great Jon Jones is? He's the greatest fighter of all time. He's number one. And when you're talking about riding, when you say stop riding, are you talking about Jon Jones? Okay, I'm done with Jon Jones clip farming. Like, I don't even know how to, like, if he went back down to 205, which obviously is completely out of the picture. I don't think he's going down to 205 to fight Alex Pereira. I wouldn't even, like, I don't know where to put it, because I'm not going to say that Jon Jones has no chance. If he decided, hey, after this fight against Stipe, I don't even want to go against Tom Aspinall. I want to go back down to 205 and fight against Alex Pereira, because I know Dana White said there's absolutely no chance that's happening. He wants to protect both of the guys. I completely understand. You have two older guys, obviously Jon Jones, the greatest of all time, and then Alex Pereira, where he's older. They're trying to protect him a little bit. We saw that with the Khalil Roundtree defense coming up soon, even though that is a little bit of a sneaky fight. I'm a big Alex Pereira fan, but I'll go a little more in depth into that a little bit later. But I'm not going to say he doesn't have a chance. I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say would need a different champion. It's a weird spot because I don't think he should go give it a shot. Like, I don't think he should go fight Pereira. Obviously, that would be one of the biggest fights that we could ever make in UFC history right now. Like, if he went out there and beat Stipe, maybe even if he fought Tom Aspinall after, who knows? If he went out there, Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira right now, like, let's say they schedule that and it would be at the end of the year or whatever, they just decide, hey, let's throw all these plans out. That would be a massive fight. Whether it's at 205 or whether it's at heavyweight, I think it would make more sense at heavyweight because I don't think Jones is cutting down. But I guess I'll say needs a different champion. I think he's the only one on this list where, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Next up, we have Islam Makhachev. I think this is very likely. I mean, you guys, I know there's a bunch of Bilal Muhammad fans all of a sudden, it seems like, after he won the belt. I feel like there's more glazing on Bilal Muhammad than there ever has been after he won the belt, which makes sense. But, like, if Islam went out there, beats Arman Sarukian, and says, hey, Bilal, I want to fight you next. I'm going up in weight class. Like, Islam is destroying him. I don't know. Maybe that's a casual take. Islam is going out there and destroying Bilal Muhammad if he wants to fight him. Bilal Muhammad, no chance because he's losing his next title defense. I don't care who it is against. I throw anyone in there. Throw Michael Morales in, and Bilal Muhammad's losing the belt. Okay, maybe not that far, but I don't like Bilal Muhammad, and I'm sure that'll become a thing across the channel as we get more videos. Bilal Muhammad on my ops list. About a few years ago when I started watching the UFC, there was a lot of champions that were on my ops list. We got rid of them. Izzy, one of those guys. Do not like Izzy. Honestly, you know what? I'll save you guys a little bit of the yapping session right now. I'll make a future video about that, my UFC ops list. Sean O'Malley, I would say needs a different champion, but also, like, him against the winner of Ilya versus Max Holloway. Like, you can't tell me that, let's say Max Holloway wins. You can't tell me that Sean O'Malley versus Max Holloway, even against Ilya too. I think Ilya and Max Holloway would both beat Sean O'Malley. So I'm not going to say very likely, but I think it would be worth his time to go give it a shot, basically. I'm not going to say would need a different champion because he's a fantastic striker. I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think he could at least have a fighting chance. You can call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but I think he would have a fighting chance. Next up, Pantoja. Do I think he could beat Sean O'Malley right now? No. Do I think he could beat Merab? No. Do I think he could beat Umar? No. Out of those three guys, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, if Figueiredo was champion, he could go out there and beat him. Like, no. I don't think there's a chance for him at this point. Alex Pereira. Now, this is one that I'm sure you guys have been waiting for. Do I think Alex Pereira could go up and beat Jon Jones? Or, I just did talk about him fighting Jon Jones earlier. Could he go out there and beat Tom Aspinall or Jon Jones? I'm not going to say very likely, but I am going to say give it a shot. If Alex Pereira goes out there, he wins this fight against Roundtree, And after that, I think he does have to fight whoever the winner is. I think he has to fight Magomed. I thought that was going to be next, but outside of that, I'm not too interested in any of these fights after that. I think if he goes out there, he beats Khalil Roundtree, he beats Magomed, go out there, give it a shot against whoever is up there at heavyweight. Give it a shot. See what happens, because you never know. I mean, I'm not going to count Alex Pereira out of anything at this point because this guy's been fantastic. Ilia Topuria. Do I think he could go up and beat Islam? No, I don't think so. Do I think that he could go up and beat Arman? That one would be a little interesting. Do I think he could beat Charles? No. I think he's a very good striker. I guess I would put him in the would need a different champion just because he's so great of a striker. Like, let's say someone, I don't think he's beating Islam. He's talked about going up, but I don't see him beating Islam. I think Arman's really good. I don't know how much I'm completely sold on him yet, though. So I think, I wouldn't say give it a shot, but I wouldn't say there's no chance. Khamzat Chimaev, another interesting guy that I wanted to put on here because obviously not going up to heavyweight, but going down to middleweight. I'm completely lost my train of thought there. At middleweight, I got him mixed up with Magomed in my head. Yes, he's a middleweight, moving up to light heavyweight. If he were to do that, going up against Alex Pereira, I'm going to say no chance for now. He was a guy that I felt like I almost had to include because there's been a little bit of talks of it and stuff, but I need to see him go out there and fight Robert Whittaker first. I mean, this guy's coming out fighting once a year, so it would take 4 years for him to even move up to get up to light heavyweight, just because I don't even know. This guy, if he wants to fight, he's really good, but for now, no. Tom Aspinall, no chance. There's no way that he can move down to light heavyweight. I wanted to bring him into this, obviously, because Alex Pereira maybe moves up to heavyweight. I did want to talk about John Jones a little bit moving down, but there's no way. I mean, he's just too massive. There's no physical way that he would be able to move down. Kevin Holland, very likely. I mean, as you guys know, Kevin Holland is becoming one of the greatest fighters of all time right in front of our eyes. He could go out there. He's going to go and win the middleweight belt. Then he's going to go back down, win the welterweight belt, become a 2-division champion, hold them both at the same time. Very likely. I don't think there's much that I need to talk about with that. Kevin Holland, the greatest fighter of all time. Next up, or finally, we have Max Holloway here. This is an interesting one as well, because right now, the way we're looking at it, goes out there and potentially beats Ilia Topuria in this fight, right? Max Holloway goes out there and gets it done. Where does he go after this? Because he could obviously stay there and maybe go out and win this belt. But we just saw him go against Justin Gaethje and win that fight. So that's why it's so intriguing that he just went out there and beat the number 3 lightweight. Does he go out there and beat Islam? I mean, Islam's the number 1 pound for pound guy right now. I hope Dana White doesn't watch this video because he's going to make a whole reaction to this and clip me on TikTok for saying that. So I'm going to say would need a different champion because I think it's very up in the air if he beats Ilia. I'm not going to give an official prediction now. We're a little too far out. I still got to do some more research about that, even though I feel like I kind of already know where I am with that. I don't want to spoil it yet. But there's obviously a good chance that he could beat Ilia. Very close fight that we could see with that. But I don't think that he would go out there and beat Islam right now. That's why it's so hard. I think there would need to be a different champion. If it's a guy like Arman or maybe even Charles, if he can get up there, I would say go out and give it a shot after that. I'm not going to say very likely, but That's about it. The only two guys very likely to become two division champions right now are the greatest fighter in the world right now, besides John Jones, obviously, Islam Makhachev, and Kevin Holland, who is 31, entering his prime right now, and going to become the greatest fighter of all time when he wins both the welterweight and middleweight title. More videos glazing Kevin Holland on the way. Do not worry. Once he breaks into this top 10, it's going to be over for the division. But let me know down below what you guys agree with, disagree with, as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.